Listen here, guys. If you haven't signed up for the Karate Canada Open Championships on June 2nd, 3rd in Richmond at the Olympic Oval Center, I want you to stop listening to this podcast, drop everything you're doing right now, go to karatebc.org and register for the Canada Open Karate Championships because you can be the next Karate Open champion. Is that right?
Canada Open Karate Champion.
There it is. Canada Open Karate Championships. You have no excuse not to be there. It's going to be the biggest tournament in the country.
Yes.
Probably the biggest tournament of all time ever.
Ever.
Maybe.
In the universe.
Maybe. Who knows? You won't know unless you're there.
Exactly.
So sign up now. Come see us June 2nd and 3rd. Karate 360 will be there. I'm one of the hosts, Kalen Anglos.
I'm Richard Mazdell.
Take it away.
Karate 360. Let's start the show. You will kick high and I will sweep low. From local to global, it's the thing that we love. Karate.
Sanrokumaru. When you got to the part where you said, thing that we
360.
love, I thought I was going to maybe throw in something other to throw you off, but I thought, I can't. I was going to say beer or like just like something like just ridiculous. Oh,
Breakdowns.
sorry. On the wrong track.
Today I
there.
had too much coffee and sometimes I've been tripping over my
You just been tripping?
enunciation of words.
Sometimes when you have too much coffee, words just go.
Yeah,
You
you're
just
like, blah, my
and
mouth.
then your brain can't catch up to your words that are coming out of your mouth.
Normally my brain's going faster than my mouth, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was warm today.
It's nice.
It's nice weather. I
Nice.
cracked out the barbecue yesterday.
Holy moly.
First barbecue of the year.
Wow.
It's nice. Just in time for the rain to come back.
Fantastic.
No, it's been great here.
We opened
on
our
the West
barbecue,
Coast.
and then we closed it.
And then you
And we
closed
went,
in?
We're getting a new one.
Well, it was a good start.
It was a good start.
In Japan, barbecues big because I know Korean barbecues are big, right?
Oh, yeah.
In Korea.
Yeah, absolutely. They get the little hibachis, little charcoal ones.
Okay.
And you just you do your thing. You take one of those, go down to the river, hang out. Yeah. Not like here where you've got this big, massive machine that sits on the back deck.
What's wrong with that?
You know?
I like
But-
my big, massive machine.
For sure. Yeah. But it's barbecue season.
It is barbecue season, and it is also Karate 360 season all the time.
Yes.
As we have some big stuff coming up here pretty soon, like we were just talking about, the Canada Open Karate Championships. How's the preparation? How's everything going for that?
It's great, but the thing I'm debating right now is, do we go from 6 mats to 8 mats?
It's that big.
It could be that big. It could be that big.
I mean, for me, it's go big or go home. Go
exactly. It's funny you
Right?
said that. Someone said that the other night in our planning meeting, go big or go home.
Go big or go home. I mean, unless we don't have the referees.
Here's the thing. This tournament doesn't lead you to some national team qualification, doesn't lead you to some international event. So there are tournaments where they just have 3 referees in the ring.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's true.
You know?
As long as it's not the mirror system.
So yeah, as long as the mirror system. I don't like the mirror system, but I don't mind the triangle system. 2 referees sit in the corner,
Right,
and then there's a
right.
center referee.
And then
I don't mind that.
For Kumite, one flag.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need to have one flag of support or something.
Yeah, the 2 in the center of the flags, and then the center referee. I personally if you can't figure it out with 3 referees.
You probably shouldn't be a referee.
Yeah, I don't know. Or you should be an athlete that's that concerned about it. So you have to work a little harder. But in an event like this, there's just sort of here's a question: do you want to be there till midnight, or do you want to leave it a good hour?
I don't want to be there till midnight. I'll tell you that
Yes,
much.
yes.
So whatever you got to do.
So anyway, that's what we're working on. Should we can squeeze 2 more mats in there?
Nice.
We just need to squeeze more people. It's more cost. But it would look pretty cool though. Have 8 mats.
Yeah, it'd be big.
It would be big.
I don't remember a tournament in Canada. I don't think the Nationals have ever had 8 mats.
Nope.
I don't think a tournament in Canada has ever had 8 mats.
I don't know. Maybe Montreal Open on the Sunday event has had
yes, right.
a
Montreal
lot.
Open.
But they
Let's-
get
let's
500 in a
forget
day, and they try and get it all the way through.
Yeah,
But 8 mats is pretty big.
it's pretty big.
I've been to some in Japan that have 12 mats, and in the States, I think some of the big events were 12. But yeah, there's going to be a point one day where, in jiu-jitsu tournaments, they have these software systems that plan. Let's say each match is going to take 5 minutes, plus maybe a minute or 2 to get the next person on. So let's say in a weekend, they can have maybe over 6 mats, 600 matches. So when you register in your division, it calculates how many matches that division's going to take, and it takes slots in the 600.
Right.
So when all those 600 spots are taken,
that's it.
That's it. Registration
Yeah,
closes.
I think we've talked about that before.
So,
But not
next
for the
year-
Canada Open.
Not Canada Open. Right now, it's wide open. It's
Yeah.
Wild West.
Wild West, as
That's
we
right.
call it.
It's
So
the Wild West.
get in there and do it.
Yep.
I saw on the board in the dojo the theme of the week.
Ah,
Looked quite familiar
yes.
from last week's podcast.
Exactly.
The mind-muscle connection.
Exactly.
Were you giving that to some of the
I
kids or
was
what?
giving it out to the kids all week, and I was reading some stuff more about it. And, just trying to activate. If you can move 1% of everybody in a certain direction.
For sure.
Yeah. So, that was the theme of the week.
Nice.
Yep.
Love it. Yep, that was my theme of the week in the gym too. Just trying to tell
Oh,
people
yeah?
to like focus on the muscle that you're working on.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. And asking kids, like, what controls the muscle? And they're like, the mind. How does it do it? Look at me.
Sense
Just-
action potential.
Yeah, exactly. Action potential. Send a text message.
Yeah. Synapses. Just like-
The answers we were getting were quite interesting.
yeah. I bet
It moves the muscle. How does it move the muscle? The bones move the muscle. It's like, okay.
Muscles move the bone.
Yes. But it's been a full week. And did you do anything other? Well, your school's done, right? So
Yeah, school. So the teaching's done for this term. I might pick up, I think I was telling you, a nutrition course. I might be teaching the nutrition course in June. So that's a little bit of ways away. So that's nice. Got a little bit of time away from there. Lots of stuff happening in the gym, though, like just training a lot of people and a lot of people coming in. I was telling you about some tennis player that I train who's doing really well. Some boxing. Actually, boxing had their nationals a couple weeks ago now. It finished up. And Boxing BC, the coach that I talked to, had one of their best performances that they've ever had. So
fantastic.
That was good. They didn't quite top Quebec, which is what they wanted to do.
Yes.
That's kind of was their goal, but they didn't quite get there. But the nationals there were great. So just been kind of working with those guys a little bit, trying to think about what's the next step. We're going to get them fitness tested now before we just kind of did, the demands. What are the physical demands of boxing? So now we're going to start putting together the actual fitness test.
that's fantastic.
It's going to look a lot like the structure is going to be similar to the karate one, but the tests obviously will be different depending on the demands of boxing. So yeah, it's getting that next little box checked off in
That's
the
awesome.
combat sports world. So
There was a guy in Brazil who wrote on the Karate BC website that he didn't agree with the fitness test.
he doesn't. We
And
can have a conversation.
So he's like, you have to write to me. I'm a student in Brazil in human performance. You have to explain to me what it is. So then the Karate BC wrote back to me and said, what do we say? I said, well, there is a document on your website. That's a PDF that you could copy and send to him.
Yeah,
And
for
so-
sure.
And they're like, oh, there is?
Here's
I'm
the
like, yeah.
explanation. As
Here's
long
the
as they have
explanation.
the right one. I can't remember if they have the right one.
Well, it'll be a start.
It'll be a start.
It'll be a start.
But either way,
Yes.
give him my number or give him my email. Maybe not my number.
Maybe.
Give him my email. though.
We'll see if this satisfies him for now.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can have a chat for sure.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah, so that's it. Just getting all that stuff ready and going from there. Basically, it's been nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, even though there hasn't been any big international events kicking around, there are actually a few, but they're style events.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really interesting the news that has been out there in the karate world.
Yeah.
For example,
What'd you find? Wait.
Yep.
Karate global news.
do-do-do-do-do.
Go for it.
All right. The Philippine Olympic Committee.
The Philippine Olympic Committee.
Basically, the WKF kicked the Philippines out of the WKF.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. There should be no disputing the Philippine karate team's preparation for the 2018 games. However, they have been suspended.
Suspended. The Philippines are
Due to alleged
suspended.
misuse of funds.
Alleged.
Alleged means that means they're being charged.
Well,
They haven't been proven.
it hasn't been proven.
It's
yeah.
alleged. But the WKF doesn't like it. So they've been suspended. And
Interesting.
what happened was the athletes went to an event, and some athletes went to an event and they were promised some money. And this is in Germany.
Okay.
And
By the sport organization.
by the
the
Philippine Karate Federation.
Yeah. I was going to say the PSO, but oh man, I got some stuff out.
So they were supposed to go to the event, and the athletes were told that a 20-day training in Germany, and that they were going to get paid all their expenses. They were not paid. So they've been suspended.
WKF President Antonio Espinosa said it has decided to withdraw recognition of the local association with immediate effect. Wow.
That's big.
That's big for sure.
Yep.
It says the PKF will be given a chance to air its side during the World Congress of the WKF on November 5th in Spain.
So they have to wait to the World Championships.
Crazy.
Which means their athletes aren't going. If
their
they
athletes
qualified.
aren't going, which means, I don't know where the rankings are, but if you were close to maybe going to the Olympics, it means you're very
in
likely not
trouble.
going. You're very likely not going.
So
At least
what-
this round.
So what they're probably doing is, okay, it's 6 months to the Worlds. It's more than 6 months away. They've got that amount of time to clean up their association.
Man.
So I wouldn't be surprised if these athletes weren't paid, but if really there's other things in the scenes, and this was just like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
So that's pretty tough.
That's pretty tough, and that's unfortunate for sure for the athletes. For the athletes, straight up, just because of the organization's not run properly.
Exactly.
It's really unfortunate, and it's almost unfair to the athletes. But what else do you do? Like, what else can you do? I mean, you could kick, I guess, the president of the Philippines out or whatever, of the president of the Karate Association out. But
here's
the
the thing,
these athletes are still stuck.
It might not even be the president's fault. It could be
No, but I
It's
mean,
part of the-
why?
part of the federation.
Why do the athletes have to be the ones that take the blame, or at least take the fault? You know, they're the ones being affected, but it's not their fault, obviously, right? So I mean, it's tough. It's a tough thing to do, but obviously, WKF President Espinosa is putting a stand down. That's for sure.
I would guess, my guess would be, this is not the only problem.
Okay.
There's other money problems, and this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
And they're just
This is it.
yeah.
And we don't know also if this is a diplomatic way of saying the athletes screwed up.
Sure. Yeah.
But we're going to cover them. But what's interesting is they're going to have to wait until the World Championships. The World Championships, of which the tickets
have been sold.
Or
Released.
They're all gone.
Released. Sorry. They
Yeah.
probably are all gone.
It's probably all gone now.
Yeah, but the tickets have been released for the WKF World Championships in Madrid, Spain.
How much do you think they are?
Per ticket?
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're 800 euros.
800 euros.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so
I'm
like
looking it up.
$400, $500.
I'm looking it up in English here.
Maybe not that much. That's
It's going to be in Spain from November 6th to 9th. Elimination rounds. So
500 euros.
what do you want? Do you want the elimination tickets 4 days? Do you want the full tickets 6 days? Or do you want the final tickets for 2 days?
Oh, I want the full ticket.
full
for sure.
tickets. Fine tickets.
500. I'm going to say full tickets are 500 euros. 2 days would be 300 euros.
300 euros?
Yeah, for the 2 day. 500 for the full day, for this full package.
All right. This is second.
What do you got? Are you purchasing some right here?
Well,
or-
it says search for tickets. Fees include services. All right. Let me see here. One person. It says 11 euros.
What? It's like $6.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
No. It says look for tickets.
If
Okay,
for
I'm
sure,
looking-
then they're all gone. If that's what the price of them.
I'm now searching. I'm not a robot.
May as well be.
All right. Hang on. 70 euros. So there's a lot of 70 euro charges.
Interesting. So maybe they haven't really set a price. Well, if they're released, well, whatever. They're available. If they're only €7, they're not going to last long, I don't think.
They got to be more than that.
I would think so.
70 euros.
70?
Yep.
70.
70.
That's still $40
Yes.
ish.
Ish. Anyway, they're all there. You can get them at ticketmaster.es.
There you go. So you can get them if you want to be if you want to be there at the WKF.
We got to do
World
some letter writing so we
Championship.
we can
We can be there
we can be there.
on somebody else's dime.
Now there was another thing that said a faster and improved system for evaluating the kata competition has been tested by the World Karate Championship.
Oh yeah, faster.
A faster way.
With
New
the
system
time
is
them.
based on a panel of 7 judges giving 1 point value for technique and another for athleticism.
Okay.
Which respectively amount to 70 and 30% of total points. 70% of your points is based on your technique and 30% your athleticism. The 2 highest and 2 lowest scores are eliminated, thus leaving 3 scores in each category that are added up to result in the total count of points awarded to the athlete.
I don't see how that's going to speed things up. I mean, isn't it already?
Unless they're on like an iPad or something like that.
But isn't this all? It's already fast. It's just flags.
No, it's flags, but there's no score. you have no score when they go up.
Right.
Right. So what they want here is more accountability.
Okay.
They want to know like
How much better was that person?
yeah, like
or-
where you rank them. I've actually
Right.
always liked scorecards, but not like when there's scorecards by themselves, it's not strong.
Right.
But if it's two people and there's scorecards and you're just going between the two, I like that because now you get an idea of like what your score is.
Right.
At least you got something.
Yeah, I like the scorecards too. I like the
Um,
scorecards too.
But
But it's too long, way too long.
yeah, but my guess is they're gonna have like an iPad or something, and they're gonna go beep beep beep, and there's click, hante, bang, and it goes automatic.
Okay.
And then it should. I'm guessing it should flash to the TV screen.
Did they? Sorry. So they said that they're testing this, or they're
Yeah, they're just
gonna try
testing
it. All right. Well, I mean, I'm all for speeding things up and trying to get us out before midnight at karate tournaments because, as we all know, karate tournaments don't go, one, as scheduled unless
Yes.
you're at the Canada Open Karate
Thank you,
Championships.
sir.
And two, they go late. So
Yes.
anything to speed those two things up, I think, is a good thing.
Yep.
Now, how about this full contact karate league, this karate combat? This is catching some eyes, this karate combat. I mean, there's obviously a lot of money that went into this promotion. I think I was telling you before they took Baz Rutten as the announcer, so they got some money behind this thing.
You know what? Everyone since I've been in karate has said we gotta get more people who are not in the karate world interested in karate. And
Yes.
I've always been one like, if they say there's 100 million people who practice karate and then they're all their families or friends and fans,
Yes.
we don't need to get that non-karate eyeballs. We just need to get the karate eyeballs.
Yeah, for sure.
The karate eyeballs have to be
If there's
have somewhere to go.
obviously enough out there.
And it's funny how much people are like, it's new, it's the flashy, new, shiny thing.
Right. Yes.
You've watched more UFC than I have.
Sure.
It's hard to know, like, how strong these guys would actually be in a UFC match.
Yeah.
And they don't allow any groundwork here.
No, and that's it was funny when we were talking about it when we first saw it. We were kind of talking like, okay, yeah, it's got like the judo throws and the karate stand-up striking.
Yeah.
And like, wow, what it would be if we added jiu-jitsu stuff to it. Oh, well, it would be mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
It'd be
exactly.
UFC.
Exactly.
So it's just like a lesser version of mixed martial arts, kind of.
When you see the guys, like when Rafael Agiev was taking the other guy down and he's holding him on the ground, he's just punching him for 4 seconds. And the other guy on the ground, well, he couldn't lock him up in a jiu-jitsu move.
Yeah.
He couldn't grab. He was totally
So
out
it's
of his league.
almost kind of missing that element, and it's still like karate fighting very much. It looks
Mhm.
very much like karate fighting on their feet, where they're bouncing around and they're still using karate techniques. Well, what's going to happen if a kickboxer goes in there who's not a karate, and then they go, well, I don't know really how to fight this guy. I've only been fighting karate guys. All of a sudden, this kickboxer comes in and kicks somebody's head off, right?
Yep.
Because it's just something new, and then all of a sudden, well, now what do we call this thing? It's not really karate combat anymore. You can't say, okay, you have to bounce like a karate athlete, right? So
I like the fact someone with deep pockets is trying it out.
100%. And the whole setup is cool. Like,
I actually like kind of old school, like sunken.
it's so cool. And then you got the people around, and they're all
Yeah.
dressed up, and they're all just like, yes, okay,
Yeah, I
punching
like
it in
it.
the face, like, yeah.
So what do you think of this DNA biometrics,
Oh, this
all that
is
sort of stuff?
ridiculous.
Is this a kind of a gimmick? or-
Gimmick. So we found this article from, I don't know, some news website online here. This is called Origin Inc. Origin with a 3 instead of an E.
Mhm.
Origin Inc. is a Boston-based biotech company pioneering the future of wellness through genetics and regenerative medicine, announces a unique partnership with Karate Combat. So basically what they want to do is, it says they're the exclusive DNA partner. They want to understand the genetics and how it might impact performance of karate athletes in Karate Combat. What do you think of that?
Is it pseudoscience?
It's pseudoscience.
Thank
Well,
you.
I mean, no, I shouldn't say that. We can absolutely still get quite easily DNA from just like your saliva. We
Mhm.
can look at your DNA, but how? I don't know who this Origin Inc.
Well, the thing is, they're not saying like, okay, we tested this guy based on his genetic profile.
and what are they gonna say?
he should do like 9 more squats.
What are they gonna show? How
Yeah.
are they like? What are they measuring here?
Athletes' individual results will be highlighted on the screen.
Yes, it'll be highlighted. Their
Yeah,
wellness and their whatever else it says here, like how it might impact their performance. Okay, well, what does that mean? Like, what does
Yeah.
that mean? I mean, have you seen this 23andMe is, where you can send your saliva in and you get your genetics, like your history back type
Yeah, I
of
think
thing?
it's a joke.
You think it's a joke?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter where I'm from. Does it?
No.
Like, I don't care if I'm 75% Scottish.
No,
30%
that's right.
like,
but no,
like
exactly.
Ethiopian.
Like who cares,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, maybe it's cool for some people to know. But it doesn't tell you. Well, actually, that's not true. It does tell you a lot of different biomarkers of your performance, how it's different from this origin, and how they're going to say it's going to improve your karate performance. And how? Like, they're not even measuring anything. They're just looking. You can't look at your DNA and say you might be a good karate athlete or something, right? So I don't know. Well,
It would be more cool to go like this guy's VO2 max is crashing right now, and his blood pressure's too low.
for sure.
And like his
yeah.
glycogen levels maxed, or like,
Look at you go.
Hey, that was pretty good, huh?
That was pretty good.
Was it good?
Glycogen levels and everything.
Yeah. I remember my training days.
Physiology there?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just reading about this Origins DNA test. And it doesn't. I'm skeptical. I got skeptical
Yes.
hippo eyes for sure over here.
The heads-up display sounds like they're fighter pilots, and this is our heads-up display. So you
yeah,
can see them.
yeah.
But I am happy to see that someone is testing the waters, and it's meritocracy, right? If this
Totally.
actually, they're on CNN Money. They actually had this article. It said, "Karate combat versus UFC. Which one is better?"
Well, we just talked about
I
that.
know, so I don't think.
I
I don't think. I mean, in terms of eyeballs and what people want to pay,
love it.
karate people will want to, who are interested in competition, will want to pay us, because we've always wanted to see Agiev actually fight a full contact
Sure,
match.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
Right?
And he won his last one. He's going on to the next round, whatever that is. So
exactly.
we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. See how it goes.
Will it ever get to be as big as UFC or Bellator or?
If so, we are the Karate Combat 360.
Exactly.
But there you go.
Right on.
All right, let's get into some of your technical tactical.
Okay, so here's a question: what is the value of kata?
The value of kata.
Right.
Okay.
So, people who are like really into practical fighting, martial arts, other martial arts, go, I used to do that dance thing, and I don't like it. Especially like guys in like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and stuff are like, man, it's not realistic enough.
That sounds like a fixed mindset, but yeah.
Exactly. And if you don't, and then when you try and operationalize it, like take your kata moves, figure what the applications are, then you're kind of just getting into like jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And I was thinking the other day, like, of course we want to make things practical, but like if you're doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu and your partner doesn't show up, what are you gonna do?
Well, there's drills you can do on your own, but it's not
the same. So
you're not training really.
So I think kata is quite interesting in that it is an actual physical exercise, and it's kind of funny to me. I was thinking like the other day, it's like the original aerobics, or like the original like, because because a lot of dance, like folk dance, was designed to keep you fit, like Ukrainian dancing.
For sure, yeah.
All the squats they do and the kicks they do was a way of training you to be fit, so you could hold the sword and go into battle.
Sure,
because it's extremely difficult.
Yeah,
For
me, I always found karate. I think the value of kata, for me, or at least what I think, I always, when I did kata, found that I could really like feel my body a little bit more and how I move.
Yes.
And maybe I'm not moving straight. Maybe I'm dipping my hip out. That was a big one for me. Just like little things about how I even just like move through my movements, or just really do all that kind of stuff. Bringing value to that, I think it really kind of gets that mind muscle connection.
Totally.
Like, it makes you think about that a little bit for sure, and makes you kind of look at what you're doing and how you can do it a little bit better. So I think that's the value.
Yeah, I think totally. You get really in touch with what you are. It's an exercise. It's an exercise you can do by yourself.
Yeah.
There's no one that can say you're good or bad.
Yeah. People will always say
they'll
you're good or bad,
speculate,
but yeah.
right? But it's something that no one can hold you back from your training.
For sure, yeah.
You can get quite a bit out of it, and
you can make it as easy or as hard as you want.
Totally.
Yeah.
You can do it forwards. You can do it backwards. You can do it the opposite side.
Do it blindfolded.
Totally. Yeah. And I think also it gives you don't need somebody else to be able to progress to go forward. Like if your partner doesn't show up.
For sure.
Right? And it's portable. It goes with you. Right? I don't need to put a uniform on. I can just practice my kata.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a puzzle, and what are the best puzzles to figure out, are the most difficult ones.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. How satisfying it when you first learn a kata, when you get it from start to finish, it's very satisfying. And then when you like compete and you perform well with that kata. It's very satisfying. So it's like the same thing, especially with the harder katas. It's like you put it all together, you perform, you do well. It's like it feels good.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like you
yeah.
actually did something.
Yeah. And from going from memorization to performance, right?
Yes, yeah.
There's a lot of people in our club now, and this has been really fun to talk to them and to make them realize that they are closer to their first degree black belt than they are to having been a white belt.
That's awesome. That's a good one. Yeah.
Right? When you think
yeah.
about it, like the blue belts, purple belts, brown belts in the club, I just tell them, like, look how far you've gotten.
Yeah.
They've gotten to that pinch point where sometimes their natural athleticism, their natural ability has got them through the junior color belts.
Sure.
But now they actually have to really think through and key in.
Yeah.
And I noticed that's when a lot of them start feeling the pinch. Like, oh, wow, I've really got to dig into this.
Yeah, yeah.
And if they do, I think they're going to pop to black belt really quick.
Yeah, no, I like that. You're closer. Yeah, you're closer to your black belt than you were when you first started.
It's so neat to see their faces like,
oh, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
And
I like it.
I think then the neat thing with the kata is it kind of helped them get there. I think it is important, and we've been practicing on Friday nights the practical application of kata, and it's been fun seeing people's eyes like light up now that they have a connection point.
Yeah,
you know.
Awesome.
Anyway, I wanted to just talk about the value of kata, and obviously you're only going to get better the more you practice.
100%. What's the value of kata to you guys? Let us know.
Absolutely.
All right. My fitness training tip is how can we train for kime? Focus. Finish. That little bit at the end of your block where you're locking it out, or that punch where you lock it out.
Yes.
How can we actually train our muscles to be able to do this? And the best way that I can think of that we can do it is to use an external device like a kicking shield, something that you can actually hit and perform your movements. Like say it's a block, perform your block or your punch against this bag or against this object as hard as you can and really tighten right at the end of it and then relax. But do it as, at the end of the range of motion of the block or at the end of the range of motion of the punch. And the reason you could do it, sure, without any of that stuff, but the reason why we want to do it against an object is because it's going to train your muscles to lock at that position. That's why it's important at the end is to kind of tense it just a second, but then relax. And that's kind of how you want to do a punch or a block anyway, is be loose, snap, tight, and then relax right away, right? So doing it against an external object like a kicking shield works great because it's soft enough to hit, but it's hard and dense enough to stop you in that motion. So that's what we want. Been working on this a lot with the boxing athletes too, where we're trying, when you look at power, it's really just trying to get more finish. That's really what it is, trying to get more kime. I mean, we don't call it that obviously with the boxing athletes. So we get them to like when you hit a heavy bag or that kind of stuff, same thing, but you do it at the end of your range of motion and really focusing on tensing the muscles and then relaxing them right after so that you can follow up and throw another technique. So that's just the big fitness training tip this week. Use an external object to finish your technique to help build that kime.
I find with the kids and adults, it's easy to do a gedanbarai into the side of a kicking stand.
Yes.
Because they don't have the friction rub of punching with their fist if their knuckles aren't toughened up.
Yep.
So they can get, or the idea of hitting their own arm.
Yes. Yep.
But when you first said that, I was like, the candle.
The candle.
Like Bruce Lee would put the candle there and they go like, boom, and then and now almost there's I don't know how many martial artists have seen, even like Conor McGregor does like a candle and they have to like snap.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Get the focus. And if they're off, like the wind doesn't work.
Yeah. I've seen those. Those are pretty funny.
Or if you want to go to the next level, the beer bottle. Like in Karate Kid when he cuts the beer bottle.
He cuts it
open.
open.
Just right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to do the exact same thing. You need speed, you need the lock, and you need the relaxation.
Perfect. Right? So a kicking shield, a candle, or a beer bottle.
We don't advise a beer bottle without parental assistance.
Well,
yeah.
Depends on the kid, I guess.
Exactly.
Of course, we're just kidding. All right, so there you go. That's the fitness training tip of the week. I think we've already talked about the new Karate Kid that's coming out, right, on the YouTube.
Oh, that was the other one I put up here. New York Times actually wrote an article where they thought it wasn't going to be that bad. They thought it was going to be good.
Oh, the New York Times says so. If the New York Times says so, then it must be true. The New York Times.
That's right. Have you ever seen that video where they go through the first Karate Kid and how Daniel is actually the one who instigated everything? The bad guy.
Daniel's actually the bad guy.
Yeah,
it's true.
He did everything. So, this is neat. Like Karate Combat's come out. I'm actually kind of glad Karate Combat has come out when this Cobra Kai series.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, if it's bad, I don't want it to be bad, you know? But with Karate Combat coming out, it's one of those pop culture things that's kind of buzzing around.
For sure. And I think the more things out there that have the word karate in it,
Totally.
the better. And the more stuff that we have people looking at karate, the better. Same thing, like I always get excited when in the UFC events or whatever, any of the announcers, Joe Rogan or whoever, if they say karate or sport karate, I'm like, yes, that's right.
That's
Like,
right.
Say
That's
it again.
right.
Say it again. So, I mean, any of this stuff that keeps coming out is good because, again, it's just going to bring more recognition, more eyes, that kind of
For
thing.
sure.
So,
For
yeah,
sure.
there it is. All right.
Sounds good, man.
Sounds good. This was a great episode.
Right on.
Crushed it. 30 minutes of pure joy.
Pure fire.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can get these episodes at karate360podcast.com, Karate360 Podcast on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me at Kalen Anglos on all the social media. You at Richard Malza.
That's right.
All.
New podcast coming out tonight. A new vlog coming out tonight.
Oh, I was going to say, you got another one? Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We do appreciate it. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know. If you got something you want us to talk about, an upcoming tournament, an event.
Vancouver Island Karate Championships Sunday, May 6th. Deadline this weekend.
Took the words right out of my mouth. And if you haven't already signed up for the Karate Canada Open Championships,
That's right.
be there. Go to karatebc.org. Sign up for those. You too can be a Karate Open champion.
Exactly.
All right. I'm Kalen Anglos.
Mr. Mazel.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
San
Rokumaru. Little high at the end there.